hate puppies. It's good podcast.
Who's that? I feel threatened.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, the only podcast that features one person of the three voices you already heard. And, of course, dedicated to solving first-world problems and hopefully helping you figure out what you should be drinking or eating this weekend. This one's going to be a drinking.
Yep.
Just fair warning. Fair warning. We don't have anything good to eat.
I heard there'll be some good things to eat very soon.
So soon enough. Soon enough. I am back from a trip to Florida. I was gone for a week in Florida. That is a weird town.
A full week, like Thursday to Thursday? Or Wednesday to Wednesday?
Actually, longer than that. Now that you mention it, it was a Tuesday to Wednesday with an extra Wednesday in there.
Nice.
Yeah, not bad. Well, the first 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday were all work.
Which is drinking.
It is.
Okay.
It is the way my work goes. Mm-hmm. Yes, one night entertaining clients, 2 nights entertaining work colleagues, and then family flew in, and then it was drinking. So yeah, I'm on a bit of a bender.
Did you take your Yeti briefcase?
I don't know any other carry-on luggage that should be taken. In fact, I noticed I'm not that alone.
Oh.
When I was in the airport, what's ironic, when I was in the Atlanta airport, the Richmond airport and Atlanta airport, I was the only Yeti I saw. Mm-hmm. But when I was coming back from Florida, the sheer amount of men with Yetis on their backs as their carry-on was staggering. It was actually pretty cool. So I've realized I'm not alone. I'm not unique.
You're Florida man.
But I was the only one with the Yeti backpack cooler. Everyone else had the big rectangular ones with the big zipper on it.
Wait, the big, bags or backpacks?
They were rectangular backpacks. It looks like your standard rectangular cooler that you have to the zipper on those things, the world's most difficult zipper. Yeah. It had one of those at the top, but it had straps like a backpack. That's what everyone was.
You think it was the old model?
I guess so.
Were you like, look at this model?
Yeah. It's like, check this out, dude. Oh, their wives were just.
I see they didn't make these to Florida yet.
They haven't made it yet. Yeah, I was amongst my people though when I was in Florida. I realized everybody has backpack coolers, which is not bad. Troy, you have a backpack cooler, right? Troy?
Who's Troy?
He's the guy that's not here. Where is Troy?
Oh, I remember. He's on a cruise.
That's right. He's on a Carnival cruise. The best.
Yes. Free norovirus.
Everywhere. Everywhere. You don't really have to put much effort in to get it either. They just bring it to you.
And the cool thing is, if you get it, you can't leave your room.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That's cool. Even though everybody's already been infected at that point. I guess that makes sense, though. I don't really want somebody shitting and puking in the pool. The flow rider doesn't look the same when it's filled with dookie.
I'm surprised Troy, with his new healthy lifestyle, would do all-inclusive. Because isn't the point, he doesn't eat past 8 or 8:30 p.m., but I used to eat at 8:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. and 11 p.m.
Oh, on a cruise?
On all-inclusive anything.
Why would you not?
Right.
You're there for one reason, and that reason is to eat and then drink.
And drink.
I almost think that drinking is secondary when I'm in a place like that.
But I felt like I was, I had to get my money's worth.
Well, I talked to Troy before he left, and he said that was actually his plan.
Oh.
He said he's gone all this time, and he's like, so I get a week, and it's my week. He's like breakfast, lunch, dinner, ice cream. He's like, I'm not missing any of it.
Okay, then I applaud that.
Yeah, he's going all in. So he had been starving himself for months for 1 week of just reckless abandon.
I feel like that's made up.
I'm pretty sure he's going to do it. That man can eat.
No, I mean, I can eat too, but it's I'm going through something. And Troy's going through something.
He's enjoying it.
All right.
I don't know. I've gained some weight. This trip, I rediscovered my love of onion rings. Turns out they're great.
Yeah.
Like fries have always been my vice because they're like the easy one to go to. But when I was a younger man, it was onion rings.
Oh yeah.
And I've since rediscovered them. I was in a place and they had those just. You ever just see an onion ring and you're like, this place has it going on? You can tell just by looking at them.
Oh yeah.
Like they nail onion.
Hand battered and all that good stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, you could just tell. I had that golden color.
Mm-hmm.
Then as a colorblind man, I can still see. That's how you know it's a good golden color.
I think part of the reason I got to be pleasantly plump was I had this rule when I'd go to a restaurant. I wanted to order something I could not easily make at home. And I don't have a fryer, and I wouldn't be good at it. So I just ordered fried food all the time.
That is a piss poor way.
It is. It's horrible, but
because you also you don't steam broccoli at home, but you chose to look at the option.
I bake broccoli.
Ew.
With the olive oil and seasoning.
Yeah, I get a little crisp.
Yeah,
that does
delicious.
Suck. I'll give you that.
Same with Brussels sprouts.
Nope.
But can't fry them. I don't have that ability.
You have an air fryer at your house.
That's not the same. I mean, don't get me wrong. Air fryer for leftovers, amazing. But I don't think you can make onion rings in an air fryer.
I've never tried, but I would assume you could.
Let's hear from some listeners.
I wish a motherfucker would.
Don't burn your house down.
I'm sure you can do it. You should be able to make anything you can fry in an air fryer. I mean, that is the beauty of the air fryer.
I think you need that grease to get in between the items.
Oh, that's just Fat Dave talking.
I mean, I'm still obese.
You're not as obese as you once were. You just came out here and I saw you standing in the yard.
I'm like half retarded as I used to be.
You look like a scarecrow. He's like, what the fuck?
I'm down over 40 pounds.
Ooh, how much has he sent you thus far?
I think he sent 25.
Oh man, you're hitting him up.
Yeah.
You're down. You got over the 40-pound mark.
And not only that, I'm well over and holding steady and still trending downward, so I feel safe to say it. Like, I'm never going to come on here the day that I hit a round number and be like, pay me. I'm going to make sure.
It actually was real.
Yeah. It wasn't just, I didn't drink water that day.
Yeah. Get some water weight off.
Right.
Put the trash bag on. Do a couple laps because you need $5. Yeah. I like it. You do the old like high school wrestler move.
Right.
That always looked so brutal. Watching wrestlers.
Yeah, but when you're 17, you can do anything.
You say that, but then I know dudes who have passed the fuck out and not been able to wrestle.
I know 17-year-olds who would choose to make each other pass out for fun.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Right.
That sounds about right.
You can do anything.
I actually have played that game into my 30s.
I was scared to play. I've never played that game.
Well, I never played it intentionally. I just would talk shit to the wrong person who was capable of that.
I interned for this lawyer who really got into jujitsu. And
You gotta be careful with that, dude.
he made all of us join him on a special jujitsu training class, and they were teaching us some moves, which don't remember any of them. But he was like, hey, everyone's going to get knocked out. Let's see what happens. And they're like, as soon as you feel, the gray come over your eyes, just tap. And so as soon as they touch my neck, I'm like,
Smart.
like, yeah, felt it.
You didn't feel like choking that brain out?
No.
What a bitch.
Yeah.
Your brain doesn't actually need oxygen. Old wives' tale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I never really I always thought that was a little dangerous. Like you got to be getting a little bit dumber. Like you may as well.
I mean, I think you can go for a solid minute or two without oxygen and be fine.
You're probably better off doing nitrous.
Or spray paint.
Ooh, I think I'd rather be choked out than be doing spray paint. For some reason, I feel like nitrous is like is the fine line there. Like I could do nitrous. At least I giggle, get the wah-wahs, and like my brain has lost a substantial amount of blood cells. I get choked out. I lose a bunch of blood cells. Could bash my face on something on the way down. But huffing paint, that's for Inuits.
Well, maybe
I mean,
you're
idiots.
the pussy.
Idiots.
Actually, I heard whippets are like a nationwide
They're
problem.
back.
Yeah,
They're
big
back.
time.
You see the little canisters now all over the place.
Yeah, and people are suing because this isn't for whipped cream. They bought it at a bong shop, and they're like, wait a minute. I think
You
this is
used to
false advertising.
You used to have to get it at like the cooking and baking place.
Right.
You'd go like Williams Sonoma and be like, hello.
I just can't get enough whipped cream.
I'm having a dinner party for about 300 people.
Why do you have that accent and a fish t-shirt?
This really gets me into my strawberry shortcake vibe. I need a lot of whipped cream. A lot of it. That was the only way to get it back in the day, and now it's in head shops.
Yeah.
But no, it's everywhere. I have a friend who waited until he was like 40, and then out of nowhere, this motherfucker started showing up at parties with a cracker and damn whippets.
He went to a concert.
Something
Had a
happened.
transformational event happen.
But why would you start that at 40?
Because he had an event happen. It was so great, he needs to repeat it and share it.
Why would you experiment at 40? You should have gotten that out of
Because he was high.
Ha! This is true. But this is a dude who I don't know. I felt like he'd already seen and done everything. And then all of a sudden, always had it at the parties. And then he's always trying to get everyone else to do it.
Oof.
And some people would do it, but like people were like logical. They'd be like, psst, okay, yeah. They see it. And then he'd be like, you didn't finish it? Just lay there in a lump.
You should show up next time he's at a party with helium balloons. Be like, dude, hit this.
I'm feeling it. Actually, I've done enough helium that I've deprived myself of oxygen.
Right.
I really
It's a
have.
gateway drug when you're 7.
I used to do a ton of helium at like the junior high school years, and like I was doing so much helium at parties, I thought it was the best. Like it seriously. I almost passed out at one party in like 8th grade. I've just been slamming helium balloons. I tell you, the hardest ones to get out, those balloons that last like forever, with the like shiny ones.
Oh,
What are those
Mylar.
called? Yeah. Mylar balloons are very hard to huff the helium out of. You can like slit it, and then you have to like get your mouth over it just right and like poof it in.
I would think scissors would handle that pretty well.
You would think, but it's harder than you think. Take it from a recovering helium addict. The Mylar balloon is the worst way to do helium by far. I've never done it straight from the tap. I'd love to get like a giant tank and just see how that goes. That's never happened.
You should get that for your youngest kid's next birthday. Just a helium tank.
You know,
Oh, I forgot the balloons. I've got an idea.
You're better off buying other drugs. Like by the gram, helium's getting mad expensive.
I'm saying, what's more entertaining? You on fucking speed or you on helium to 13-year-old kids?
Honestly,
Yeah.
speed and helium. Speelium. Everybody knows that. You do Speelium at a 13-year-old kid's birthday party. That's the way to go.
I bet half of them are on speed already. So then you just introduce the helium.
I'm trying to save your kids' lives. Little toothless Merle over there. I can try to help him out, get him hooked on helium. Yeah, that was a hell of a drug back in the day because it was a great party trick. Yeah, you felt a little lightheaded, but then everyone laughed. No one got mad. You could do it in front of parents.
Yeah.
They were just mad about the balloon.
I don't think it's a drug, though.
It's definitely depriving you of some oxygen when you're doing a bunch of it.
Yeah.
I'm talking balloon after balloon after balloon. You can.
But I would say that's more akin to showing off by holding your breath underwater in front of your parents for dive after dive after dive after dive.
Which we've all done.
Yeah.
And then once I had kids, I realized how often they really do yell, watch this, watch this.
Oh, yeah.
And then one day they stop saying, watch this. And you're like, oh.
And then you're like, hey, kids, watch this.
Yeah,
Right?
then
Right?
you got to be cool again.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I felt like the weird kid. I flew a skateboard all the way to Florida, not in my Yeti. We had this old piece of luggage. It's this old.
You know that TSA agents were like, $10 says this dude has whippets packed with your Yeti and your skateboard,
Yeah, my
your
poncho.
fake accent.
Hey, what do you call those? What do you call the Mexican knitted thing that you get at every beach shop that you pull over?
Ooh, did we call it a Baja?
So yes.
Okay, that's
Yes.
what we called it.
I called it a Baja all the time.
Yeah.
And then I sometimes would say Baja poncho.
Never use poncho because that's what you wore at Busch Gardens when it started raining.
So my daughter had one of those, and I was like, hell yeah, you got a Baja. That's the way to do it at the beach. She was like,
It's a skibbity doo, Dad.
Yeah, it was something.
Fuck.
I was like, it's not a. She's like, it's not a Baja. And I was like, okay, well, it's a Baja poncho. It's a poncho. She's like, it's not a poncho. It's a pullover.
What?
And I was like, it's not a pullover because it has a very distinct pattern,
Yeah.
a very distinct look.
Yeah.
And it's called a Baja. And if you want to get technical, then it's a Baja poncho.
That's like someone wearing a fedora and they're like, it's not a fedora, it's a hat.
Well, she got very upset that I was calling. So my wife actually had to take me aside and she was like, stop calling it a Baja or she'll stop wearing it.
Jesus.
I was like, damn, okay.
Well, when she starts dressing slutty, you can be like, oh, you're wearing up, and make up a word. She'll get mad, and then she'll dress conservatively.
I do need terms for that. Mm-hmm. Like, I really like that tramp hoodie. You know? Oh, that's cool. You got a slut shirt. That's everyone in the 90s was wearing slut shirts.
Nice dick trap.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's the old gonorrhea. That's nice. Yeah, but so I flew. So we had this. I have this old piece of luggage, right? American Tourister,
Yeah.
but like kind of soft-sided, but like kind of hard-sided.
When you say old, you mean post 2000s, though, right? You don't mean like 70s.
No, I mean like not 70s, but like something that had been handed down to my wife and I. So like it had been through, let's call it 80s.
Okay. That counts. That's vintage.
So it's an old school American Tourister, soft side, but with like plastic all throughout the inside to keep it like rigid. So like the top would push down and but inside, but like canvas looking.
Okay.
Like cloth looking. You know, it's not leather. It's not a hard side.
Right.
And so I had this thing up in the attic forever. And I was looking for anything that my skateboard would fit in. Because I've got longboards. You can't get a longboard on a plane unless
Right.
you go buy luggage for a longboard. And I thought that was a bridge too far. Mm-hmm. So I've got a shorter longboard, big old wheels, eat up nonsense, rocks.
Shorter longboard. You mean a skateboard?
It's just the way it's built. It's just different. Big wheels, carving trucks.
Okay.
A little bit different. But yes, as far as length goes, it's the length of a normal skateboard. The big difference is where the trucks are located. One truck's way up by the front and the other one's further back. So it creates a longer wheelbase, which is what allows you to feel like you're cruising.
Gotcha.
It helps. The trucks being in, you shorten that wheelbase. Big difference. So I was like, okay, I can get this one. I put it in, and in the American Tourister, it would fit corner to opposite corner exactly right. And the trucks and wheels were just wide enough that it would shut. So now I've got this piece of luggage that is only going because it's holding a skateboard, which turned out to be great because you could throw Yeti ice in that thing. You can put like hats that you don't want to get crushed because the skateboard creates this long divider. Mm-hmm. And then everybody's shoes can go on the other side of the skateboard. Mm-hmm. So now the shoes are safe and then all your random crap is safe.
How much did it cost to check that bag both ways?
So I got one free check bag.
Oh, all right.
So it was like, I may as well check my bag. I got just enough status with Delta that it's like, get a free check bag. I was like, hell yeah. So I was able to get the skateboard out there. But this piece of luggage, unfortunately, when it's super old and sits in a garage all the time and it has old plastic in it, when I first got there to Florida, I opened it up and there were like chunks of plastic all over everything. And I was like, what the hell? The plastic just disintegrated. Every time it would take a hit, it would just shatter and just plastic would break off. So by the time I left Florida, it was now a full like soft-sided situation with just a little bit of plastic where the skateboard would hold it into place. That was essentially how it went. So when I left, it had already lost two things. So when it had two wheels, and then it wouldn't stand upright, like Leaning Tower of American Tourister.
Right.
And just sit there like that because it didn't have feet, which freaked out all of the people at the airport when they're trying to weigh it. They're like, "Whoa!"
No, wait. Did it have wheels?
It had two wheels
I don't think that's from the 80s.
that don't pivot.
I don't think that's from the 80s.
Oh, it's. I think so.
Okay.
It used to be two-wheeled luggage without they're not pivot wheels. They're hard in place wheels.
That's late 90s.
You think so? Mm-hmm. No, it felt pretty
Dude, 80s was like heavy as fuck. You're lucky if you had feet to hold it in place so it wouldn't fall over.
Well, it didn't have feet because it leaned the whole time. And now it doesn't really have wheels because like every plastic component on it completely disintegrated to and from. So when I got back to Richmond, I was literally just dragging by a telescoping handle.
A telescoping handle is not 80s.
Yeah, of course it's 80s.
Oh my God.
They had telescoping fucking handles in the 60s.
Oh, okay.
You see pictures of
They had literal
stewardesses.
telescopes in the 60s. They didn't have telescoping handles.
You're crazy. Yeah, you see, you can't even find the time to look it up.
Do you have that bag here?
It's in the trash right now.
Okay. After this, I'm going to look it up and I'm going to show you it's from 2004. And you're like, oh, okay.
Zero chance. 85.
It probably has www.americantourister.com somewhere on it.
Ironically. They were just ahead of the game. They didn't know why.
Right.
They just had it on there.
Oh my God.
No, this thing is, well, it's dead now. I mean, a wheel blew off of it. The two legs already blew off of it. All the plastic on the inside collapsed. The only thing that gave it any structure was the skateboard.
No, that thing is 2000s Chinese or Taiwanese made. If it were an American
says
tourister
American
from the
on it.
80s, it would be bomb proof and it'd be so hideously ugly.
Oh, it's ugly.
Yeah,
It's embarrassing.
I think you're mistaken.
I can tell you it was old when my wife and I met in like 2000 because we had to borrow it.
Someone bought it in 97.
And is that not old? Are we going to sit here and split fuck? Where is Troy?
There's a big difference between the 80s and the late 90s. Big difference.
Now you're making me mad. Now you're going to have to pad. Good luck, buddy.
I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, you did.
Well, let me tell you about my weight loss journey.
Boring.
Taken body measurements, and I've learned that I am losing weight in the shape of a Christmas tree.
Wait, what?
Yeah, my neck has shrunk a couple inches. Diameter of my shoulders have gone down 1.5 inches. Chest has gone down 1.5 inches. Waist, staying the same. Thighs, staying the same. Calves, staying the same. So I'm noticing love handles that before I was so fat I didn't have love handles.
Oh, because you kind of just tightened it up.
It was all round. It was all like a Goodyear blimp. But now the blimp is deflating, and but only from the top. It's very disturbing.
Yeah, you're going to go through changes, man.
Yeah, I'm in my awkward stage.
I can tell you as I'm Googling it, it is really hard to find vintage American Tourister anything, even if you put an age in it. And a lot of them look similar to what I have, except for the fact that the wheels are way better.
I'm going to Google, when were wheels added to luggage?
Wish a motherfucker would. Well, the whole point of this, so I brought a skateboard down there. And that was like very interesting to have a skateboard because you forget that like no one else can join you on the journey. It just becomes solo journeys. So I ended up finding a dive bar.
On your skateboard?
In the beach town that we were in. That was about 13 blocks from us.
This is not a powered skateboard, right?
No. You can't put lithium-ion batteries on a plane. But now my entire right leg is sore as shit. My other leg's fine. Because I spent a week down there skating around, going to the dive bar that I'm wearing the shirt of right now, Shadrack's. That place is the darkest place at the beach.
So where is your family on this family trip while you're getting sore skateboarding to bars alone?
In that little, that witching hour between when I can no longer handle the sun and when they still can.
11 a.m.?
No, I would go out there during the day just all like, lathered up. But then come like 3 o'clock, like they're going to be out there for another hour and a half. So I just go home, get the skateboard, skate around, come back. The timing worked out. But I could go in there and have a couple beers Like that place was great. It was like all the degenerate like people who lived there. So like here you'd get your like normal middle-aged people,
Right.
just kind of all dudes at that point, middle of the day, like just sitting there drinking beers all the time. $2 Bush and Bush Lights, like all hours. So like everyone's drinking Bush Light or Bush, depending on if you're a pussy or not.
On a Wednesday and a Thursday.
Absolutely.
Friday.
Yeah, but then on Fridays, all of a sudden you get better specials because they know
No,
that
but I'm
you're-
saying it's filled with these people at
Yes.
3 p.m. on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
noon, 2, 1. Yeah, absolutely. But then the funny thing happens right at 4 o'clock. All the old people come in for like the special, so you get like all the old couples who just live down there or vacationing down there. So now everybody who's coming in is like 70 and up, and they're just cracking beers and laughing and telling war stories or golf stories, whichever is, or fishing stories.
What do you do with your skateboard?
Put it right next to you like you're a badass.
And you're at the bar?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but this place was great. Had like foosball, a couple pool tables, outdoor section, and everybody bring their dogs in there. And there's all these signs like dogs must be leashed, which I guess is just to
It's a law.
check a box.
Yeah.
Because everyone comes in, just lets their dogs go. And so now you just got dogs hanging out. This place was rad. It's like my favorite fucking dive bar. I highly recommend Shadrack's in Paso Grill, Florida.
Perfect.
The place was like great.
You had to have had some interesting conversation because I know you. And by interesting, I mean to you.
The weirdest one was an old lady, and she comes walking in wearing sunglasses, and her lips had been just freshly injected. Just she had 20-year-old lips, 70-year-old lady. And this lady walks in, and she's got her like her pullover,
Her Baja?
It's not a Baja. At this point, it's like a sheer pullover thing. She's got her big sunglasses on, never takes them off, hat pulled down. You can tell she's got stupid money, and she rolls in there by herself, looks at me, and just sits down next to me.
There you go.
And I'm like, fuck.
No, you didn't. You're like, I still got it.
But I don't. But I don't.
Those lips want me.
They did, and it got weird because she would sit there, and then she was like, yeah, husband's dead. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, but I ran his company for a while, made a fortune. And then she's talking about like, I might just fly to the championship game. I think I want to see Florida play. And I'm like, oh, okay. You can
She's
just.
checking all the boxes.
I was like, you can just do that.
She compliment your skateboard?
Yeah, she brought up. She was like, oh, you bored? She was like, oh, you surf? I was like, yeah, not well, but I enjoy it. And I was like, why, you snowboard? And she goes, oh, yeah. Shows me a picture, her in like Daisy Dukes snowboarding. I was like, that's not appropriate snowboarding gear. She's like, well, it was spring snowboarding. I'm like, yeah, but it's not how that works. But she ended up freaking
You're going
me
to be
out.
a menace in the nursing home.
That might be the worst.
The worst.
That might be the worst.
Jesus.
But she ended up freaking me out. Because she was like, she was asking me like, well, what are you doing later? And I was like, meeting my wife and kids for fancy dinner night.
It's like, why are you in this bar?
I said, because I can't handle this. She asked that. I said, because there's a certain point where I can't have any more sun, and this place is just dark enough to let my skin cool off. It's like, so I just skate down here.
So you're unchecking the boxes one by one.
I'm unchecking as she's checking.
I don't like sun. I'm married. I have a family.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm rich. Husband's dead. Like, come with me.
My dick doesn't work.
She's like, I'll make it work. No, it was problematic. She even was like, yeah, just live just over there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's great for you. It's super. And she's like, well, what are you doing?
What do you think about Forerunners?
I designed it. Oh, tell me more. You're getting more attractive. But she ended up asking me where I was going, and I was like, yeah, I got to meet up with my wife and kids. It's fancy dinner night. It's like our last night here. So we did this thing where we hit all the restaurants in all of Paso Grill. And then on the
Both of them?
there was like 8 that were open, I think, but then some that weren't open the days we were there. Long story, but we hit all of them. And it's almost like there's one central kitchen.
Right.
And everything in all the
Fried
restaurants,
seafood.
everything comes out of the same kitchen.
Yeah.
It was like very odd. But the plan was we were going to hit all of them. And then on the last night, we would just dress up and go back to our favorite one. And so she was like, oh, so where are you going tonight? And I was like, we're going to the Wharf. It's our favorite place. She's like, it's actually of the things that are still open from the hurricane, because the hurricane decimated this town. Helene or whatever. Dude, bad. Like, all people do in that bar is tell war stories about their place. I met one lady who was a refugee who has been living in North Carolina, which I thought interesting place to run to, because that place also got decimated by Helene. But she was telling me, she was like, yeah, her house still isn't back up. Her condo's still fucked up.
What's she doing there?
She was just back in town. She wanted to see her old friends. Walked into the bar. She was like Norm. Everyone was like, hey, you know, where have you been? So I was talking to her, and she's like, yeah, it just got destroyed. I still can't get back in, but I got a little money, so I'm just kind of traveling around.
How populated was this bar when this lady's talking to you?
25 people?
And no one's norming her?
No. Bartender knew her. So, but no one else normed her.
Interesting.
Yeah, locals didn't norm her. Bartender did.
You were the fresh meat.
I was the fresh meat. Yeah, she'd already run through all these haggard asses.
Yep.
She had crabs from the 70s.
With wheels.
Yeah, the good stuff. American tourister crabs. But this is what freaked me out. She was like, I was telling her, I was like, yeah, I'm going to the Wharf.
The refugee or the old lady?
The old lady. No, the refugee literally really liked her. She was very nice. The guy she was talking with, they were all just trading war stories about the hurricane, and some of them back in their places, other ones not back in their places. You would hear good stories when you were in there. Met more cool dogs than people. Met a lot of good
Did you bring your wife in there?
She never wanted to go into Shadrach.
Weird.
Yeah. Well, she was getting sun.
All right, continue.
What can I do? I tried to get her in there every fucking day.
I like how when we pre-gamed this episode, you're like, there's nothing to talk about on my trip.
I do have nothing to talk about.
You met the fish lady. That's awesome.
So I tell her, I was like, yeah, I'm going to the Wharf with my family. Like that's where we're headed next. Because it's our special night out. We're gonna get dressed up. It's our last night. And she was like, oh man, I feel like we should get another drink. And I was like, actually, and I'd been paying cash. I was like, boom, I'm done. I'm gonna jump on my skateboard and head on home because this is a big night tonight. Skated home, took a shower. I was ready still before the kids because men, it's like a 10-minute process,
right?
Especially at the beach,
right?
You know, I was like, pulled on a button-down shirt. That was my big dress up.
Short sleeve button down.
Long sleeve button down, sleeves rolled up. That's class. That's class. Short sleeve button downs, you gotta get it just right to pull it off.
Yeah, you gotta be in the right environment.
You know what I mean? Like it's tough. I always prefer the long sleeve rolled up, but it is hotter. No denying that. But it's a better look. But so I was like, I go home, get dressed. We walk over to the Wharf. We sit down at our table. That bitch walked in.
Nice.
Sat at the bar and like directly across her, like I could see her. I was like, what kind of weird.
Did she make her presence known?
No. Then I actually started feeling bad. She started hitting on the pirate next to her.
Yeah.
So I was like, this chick is. But when she first walked in, I was like, ew, what's she doing?
Were you like, honey, I got to tell you something?
No, I'd actually told her as soon as I got home, I was like, met this old lady who had a lot of money. My daughter came out of the bathroom. She was like, I don't like this woman. I was like, you shouldn't. She was up to no good. I was like, I'm telling you, she was up to no good. My wife was just like, that's funny. But when she walked in, I was like, uh-oh, what is she up to? Because you don't know. Crazies are crazies.
Yeah.
It's
Florida.
She was clearly crazy. I met a lot of Florida crazy.
Yeah.
None of them looked as crazy as me, though, because I had a Ram 2500 in a beach town. I had the giant working man's truck. My wife went to pick up the Ram 1500 that I'd ordered. Got screwed over by Hertz. They were like, no, you can't pick it up because you're not Brendan.
Oh, geez.
And I'm like, what? And she goes, look, all he has to do is call this number and say, transfer my reservation to you and be taken care of. So it's like 11:30 at night. And I'm like, all right. So I call customer service. And the guy goes, well, I can't transfer the reservation. You just have to cancel it. And she just has to book a new reservation. And I was like, but I was just told by the person at the counter to call you to transfer the reservation. He was like, I can't do that. You're just going to have to cancel your reservation. And I was like, okay, let me call back over there. I was like, don't cancel it yet. This doesn't make sense. So I call my wife back and I'm like, hey, they won't let me cancel the reservation. The lady at the counter's like, of course you can cancel the reservation. We do this all the time. You just, or transfer it. Yeah, she's like, we do this all the time. I'm like, well, look, they're telling me I can't. And the lady's like, okay, I'll tell you what. I'll just book her the exact same thing. I was like,
Perfect.
Honor the rate. We're all good. She's like, yep, I'll honor the rate, do everything, just call back, cancel. I was like, all right. So then I got to hang up, call back to customer service, sit on hold, get to them. And I was like, for the record, what's the cancellation fee? And they're like, 100% of the rental cost.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, you motherfucker. And the guy goes, well, why don't you just have them transfer it? And I was like, you got to be shitting me right now. I was like, I just called in here. You said you couldn't transfer it. He's like, no, of course you can transfer it. Because you've got the reservation
You have
number.
a different dude this time.
Yeah.
Ah.
He's like, no, you just transfer. You have the reservation number. She has the reservation number. It's fine. Just transfer the reservation. I was like, okay. I'm going to transfer the reservation. Call back over there. My wife's like, she's already rented me the truck. I'm out here sitting in the truck. I was like, motherfucker. So I called back and I was like, okay, cancel, but you're not charging me the fee. He's like, well, I have to charge you the fee, sir. He's like, but you don't because I just rebooked it.
Yeah, check your recordings.
Yeah. So now I'm currently in a fight with Hertz. But somewhere in all of this, they gave my wife the world's biggest fucking truck. I got a 2500. This thing sits up so high, giant hood, badass truck. Won't lie. Like, plenty of room for all the luggage, all the kids. Should have brought the damn dogs. Could have brought your family. We would have been fine. This thing was massive. But I also knew at the other end of my journey, I had to get into this little beach house where they've been very particular about, we have 3 spots and your spot you have to angle to get into. So as soon as you get to the end of the driveway, go hard right at an angle and make sure you pull up close enough to the house to leave room for people to come out. And I was like, I'm never getting a Ram 2500 in there. So I ended up having to find like parking on the street with this special parking pass I have.
Oh.
So then it was like every day, if they were like, we want to go somewhere, I'd be like, absolutely not. Not till after sunset. But then I'm too drunk to drive. So like, you're going to have to make do without whatever it is you wanted.
If you lost that spot, how far away would you have to park?
My parking pass was good for that block. So if I didn't get a spot on that block, my parking pass is worthless. Because it's like parking so tight because you're right along the beach and everyone comes in and there's all the public beach accesses are there. So it was like, it was brutal. And half the damn street is taken up by dumpsters of people still pulling shit out of houses and work trucks all day. So the work trucks are there all day because they have like a few hours they can sit. And it was pretty brutal. It was pretty brutal. So fortunately I made friends with my neighbors and they would like pull up close and I'd get my truck in and like everybody just worked through it. And I would just give people my spot. I was like, you have a normal car, put your Yaris over there and I could put my 2500 where your Yaris is. And that was basically, I would get to go through this dance every day. Not that it was inconvenient. The double paying for the car.
Oh, you didn't win that battle?
I don't know yet. I'm still in crazy mode. Like I haven't even looked at my email.
I would push dispute on the app.
Oh, dispute's been pushed and a very nice explanation of I've booked the exact same car.
Right.
Like I've done everything you said. I've called, I've done this, I've called, I've done that. Everything you told me to do. Now just make it go away.
Right.
Fucking, I'm a Hertz member.
You did not lose a reservation because of my cancellation.
No.
And that's the whole reason for the cancellation fee.
Correct. The reservation happened. And I took the car that you couldn't get off your fucking lot.
Right.
The 2500. Which if they now dispute this, I can be like, you gave me a car that didn't even work. I want money back for you fucking me on that too. Let's just hope they understand that this should just go away.
Did you have like an 8-foot long bed?
Dude, I had the giant, I could have towed the house we stayed in home. I could have just dumped it right here. We'd have a whole new pallet house.
But the trim difference is basically capability, not necessarily length.
Capability. Yeah. I pulled up to this one beach town and this little kid came running out and I was at a stop sign.
Are you my dad?
I watched the kid come running out and the kid just completely disappears because my hood is so long and so high that I'm like, I have no idea if that kid's still in front of my fucking car or not. So I just sat at the stop sign until I finally saw the kid collected by his parents. But like I was sitting there with my daughter and my wife, and I was like, I cannot move because I don't know where that kid that ran out a minute ago is, because I can't see anything in like 8-foot radius in front of my truck, which is a very fucked up feeling when you're in a crowded little like touristy beach area and there's kids everywhere.
Yeah.
So I was like having like, my wife's like looking out the window, like, I don't see any strollers or kids. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to rev it a little. Cummins diesel.
Was it a diesel?
No, but it sure sounded awesome. It was better for pod. You shouldn't have said other.
I'm new with this.
Objection! Hearsay!
But yeah, I just, that thing was intense. And there are times you're pulling into like crowded little areas. I was like, this car is great on the road. It's just not what you want in a crowded little beach town.
I don't know if the 1500 would have been much better.
My wife said the same thing. She was like, the 1500 is just the same size. She's like, it's not that different. So I waited until I got next to a 1500. And I said, you tell me, because I still got like 3 feet of bed and I got a foot of hood in front of me compared to this little bitch car next to me. Because this thing's naturally jacked up. When my wife pulled up at like 12:30 in the morning to the hotel the first night, she pulled up and was like, you gotta be fucking kidding. Look at the size of this truck. She was like this little tiny woman, this giant truck. But the kids were like, there's so much room. It's great. They weren't wrong. I mean, there's plenty of room.
Yeah.
It's a badass truck. It's just, it's not a beachy truck. A Jeep's a beachy truck.
10 miles to the gallon.
Oh yeah, I dropped that bitch off. I never bothered to fill it, anything. I was like, fuck it. Just charge me whatever. But sweet truck.
Yeah.
Just not for that moment. Had I been towing a third wheel, that would have been good.
All right.
Yeah, speaking of summer beers, or summer, I got a summer beer today. And boy, howdy, is it going to be the best beer we've ever had. Maybe.
Well,
It's Allagash.
what are the rules for 2 people?
It's got to be over a 3.5.
I do like Allagash. I appreciate them as a brewer.
Yes, and this is the Allagash Surf House. It's got a big old pickup truck
Yep.
with a house on it.
Yep.
It's exactly how I felt driving around. But it doesn't appear to be trying to do anything. They just call it a light, refreshing beer.
That says summer lager.
Yeah, it says summer lager, but it doesn't say anything about anything summery, just refreshing.
You could put summer lager on a Bud Light.
You absolutely could.
Yeah.
Budweiser's for the winter and fall.
Right. It's for the heavier beer.
I mean, like, I can't. Does it say anything? I don't think it says shit in the description. It says, like a little home by the water, this lager is built for easygoing relaxation. Brewed to be super crisp and drinkable, dry hopped for subtle tropical notes. Take a break with Surf House. Okay, so maybe it's got a little hop aroma.
I wonder what the difference between drinkable and crushable is.
One's cool, and it's not crushable. Let's see how this goes. I'm intrigued, though.
I opened a whole can.
I respect it. You don't have to finish it. You just gained a pound.
First sip is odd
Yeah, it's not what I was expecting.
at all.
Going back in.
I'm trying to sniff it.
Second sip's a lot better. It just needed that like palate shock to go down. Huh.
Kind of has that that like pills flavor to it. I don't taste the hoppiness.
Yeah, but you taste a juiciness that's not coming from an orange. You know what I mean? There's like a fruitiness on the back end that's not an orange. Do you know what I'm saying? Like a citra hop?
Not really. It's got a funk in it that's not IPA-ish.
I'll tell you, though, that is an easy drinking beer.
I don't like it.
Oh, then I can go as high as I want.
Yeah. It's not getting a deli.
Well, if I give it a fucking 5, it is. You can't take it down far enough.
I wish I had this in a cup so I could see how many ounces I've consumed. so I could know if I've given it a fair shake or not.
I don't know. You really don't like it. I like that it's super refreshing.
It's got a little bit of that hot doggy water in it.
Oh my God, we are tasting two very different beers. I love that it's got a little bit of bitterness, but it's super smooth, easy drinking. It's got a slight citrus like pop at the end. I think this is refreshing as fuck. I could see myself buying these. But
I don't know if this beats a Miller Lite.
well, all that being said, to me, this is a 3.5. I think it is a whole point above average and a whole point and a half away from perfect. But I like that little refreshing citrus note that's on the back end. But there's something about the way the dry hop kind of hangs on. It's almost like a tang that holds on.
Yep.
That's not necessarily pleasant. The way, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like a funky tang that kind of like just sticks there. And that's why it can't be. If that tang didn't exist, this would be a 4 for me. But there is a tang.
I think I'm trying to reconcile that this is actually a super cool can, and that truck with the camper has like
And it's just disappointing you.
has like 70s vibes, and
Yeah, it's like my American Tourister luggage.
so I love the picture it's trying to associate itself with, called Surf House. I love that it's Allagash, and then when I sip it, I'm like, this is
Not right.
this isn't what I have been marketed. I think it's better than average, but it's also not as good as average. And
Wow.
yeah,
You literally said nothing. You
No,
just took up air
I'm trying to figure out whether I give it a 2.5 or a 3. It's not below a 2.5.
I don't see how it could be. I think this is super refreshing and easy to drink.
It is easy to drink, but it's got, you call it a tang. I call it like a funk that is, I don't know. It's
The only reason I say tang is because it's actually like triggering some kind of like sour receptor in my tongue.
Maybe that's why I don't like it. I'll give it a 3, and that's a very generous 3.
So it's a 3.25, but not a strong 3.5.
Right. It's like a 3.15.
0.13. Yeah, I'm with you. I understand what you're saying. I think it's a 3.5. You think it's a 3, but you're being generous
And
with
it could
a
be
3.
because I've been sipping on Poppy's strawberry lemon, and that's probably fatiguing my.
It probably does have something to do with it.
Yeah.
I'm coming from Miller Lite.
Let me drink
I'm
some
like,
more.
hey. Yeah, I don't hate that beer at all. I'll buy it again in a pinch.
Yeah. Didn't work.
Yeah, you don't have to like it. That's the beauty of this entire
I feel
concept.
bad though. I feel like I really wanted to like this.
That's fine.
All right.
If you really just liked all the things, if you every date you went out on, you said, "Oh, but I feel bad," I think you would have been married to some turd.
I almost did do that.
Oh, tell me more. I'm intrigued. We're not telling that story. Okay, we'll let it go.
I dated a girl who she quit a very popular sorority and got kind of exiled like the week we started dating, and I felt so bad for her because everyone was like against her, and I felt like I should be the Boy Scout and help her endure the abuse she was getting.
Oof.
Yeah, it was, I don't know. I was too nice. It was dumb.
So you stayed with a nerd?
Yeah.
A GDI?
Yeah. It was
A quitter?
I made some horrible decisions in my youth.
No, I think you figured it out.
Yeah.
You got rid of her.
Yeah,
What was
but-
the straw that broke the camel's back with this quitter?
She cheated on me.
Yeah, self-esteem issues.
Oh, no. At the time, I was like, self-esteem issues are awesome.
No, they're the worst.
Well, now I know that.
Yeah, they're actually the worst.
But when you're like the most important thing in someone's life, you're like, okay, this feels pretty good.
Yeah, I get it. But
Until it's like, you love mountain biking more than you love me. And I was like, well, wait, I don't know how to counter that argument, because if I loved you more, I wouldn't go mountain biking, but I really want to go mountain biking. I don't know what to do.
it's good. She figured it out. She'll just suck another dick.
Right.
And everything was cured.
It did. Yeah.
See?
She did me a favor.
It worked out.
Yep. Didn't even cry. I was like, oh, that's fucked up. I fucking sacrificed for you, and you did. This is how you repay me?
Ew. How'd you find out?
She told me.
Brilliant.
Right.
I fucking love that she told you.
Right.
Hold on. She just came home and said, I sucked a dude's dick.
Well, I'm pretty sure the description was more than that, but I was like,
Oh, she took the time to tell you she got bent over a car hood?
probably. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Right.
At least she was honest. In a
think
weird
it was-
way,
I
I
think
respect her.
I think it was kind of like a suicide attempt of the relationship. Like, I'm going to act like I'm going to tear this thing down because I need you to put it back together better than it ever was. And I'm like, I haven't changed from day one. Like,
Oof. She sucked. Yeah. But I respect her honesty, even though it sounds like it could have been like a tangled web of,
Well, it
like,
would've
I'm going to make you try harder.
it would have sucked if she kept it quiet for years and then we got married and then
Yeah.
found out.
Yeah.
I go to Shadrick's and all these dudes are like, hey,
Yeah,
it's
you
her.
walk in and she's normed up. Yeah.
What is going on here?
You know, in the time I was in there, that was the only woman who was like that, though. Everyone else was just... You know what I think I really liked about it? The bartender reminded me of my sister. Where I
So
kept
she was a 9?
Yeah, we're not playing this. Not playing this fucking game. That's a callback.
I mean, you set that up.
That I understand that, but we're not playing that fucking game. No, it honestly, like, she just, her demeanor, you know, and like my sister kind of has that like laid back vibe where like she could do fine in a bar like that. And I was just like, damn, I wish.
So how many uptight bartenders are you interacting with?
I didn't see any uptight.
No, I'm saying, aren't all bartenders pretty much like, hey, man, how's it going? Oh, you should try this.
Yeah,
Oh,
I guess
hey,
they are pretty cool. But
how much money do you have? Because I think 50% tips are better than 10% tips.
I think it was just like the way she moved. I don't know. It just reminded me of my sister. I was like, my sister could work here.
Okay.
Get her out of Montana. No, she'll never leave Montana. But I think that endeared me to her. And then I liked all the locals were nice. Even like the degenerate drunk locals were nice. They would tell stories and like talk across the bar and like get everybody included.
I wish you had video.
That place was cool. It's definitely the kind of bar I could hang out in. Whereas all the other bars are like, you know, they're beach bars and everyone's just getting sloppy on stupid shit. Like heavy ass drinks. I rediscovered my love of the Miami Vice.
Oh, yeah.
Miami Vice is a frozen treat. You can't have a lot of them.
Right.
I discovered double shot espresso ice cream drinks.
You went at the same bar?
No,
Oh.
just in general.
You didn't have a Miami Vice at Shadrack's.
No, hell no.
Okay. All right.
Had that at Paradise
I thought you
Grill.
were talking about how much you enjoyed that bar because
No.
like, you got a frozen drink at a
I don't even
dive
think
bar?
they have frozen drinks at that place. No, it was like liquor and no taps. So they're not going to clean lines.
Right.
You know, they were like, what beers do you have? It's the kind of place where they just point up to the ledge way up there with all the cans on
Yeah.
it. You know, I like that. And like when they go, oh, you wanted a menu? It's that. Do you want food? They had peanuts and chips.
Really?
Yeah.
So no bar
No-
food.
No food.
Wow.
No, this is a legitimate
Was it bigger or smaller than the Pallet House?
3-4 times the size of the Pallet House.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, it had 2 pool tables, foosball table, darts, big bar in the center, and then had an outdoor section where you could keep your kids. Because kids aren't allowed in, but they're allowed out there. Yeah, no, a good dive bar. So like you put the kids out there and you like let someone's dog go out there to watch them.
They must sell a lot of $2 beers.
They sell a fuck ton of $2 beers.
Damn.
Place was great. But then on like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they would have specials on like IPAs or like on some other like fancy beers, like Coronas and shit. Not that fancy, but like so that when the touristy people would come in, you know, they'd have that. But all the time, the $2 Busch Light, Busch Heavies.
Yeah.
Definitely my kind of place. I liked it. I've completely forgotten all the stories because you just got me thinking about Shadracks.
Better or worse than Shamrocks?
Way better. Way better. I remember sitting there thinking to myself, these people are all nice. Like they don't even look at you funny. When you walk in, there's no like that record scratch moment. You walk in and literally nobody blinks. They just keep doing their thing. And that's a good feeling that you don't have to be the odd man out right away. Because I hate that when you walk in a dive bar and they're like, you don't belong.
Right.
And they're like, whatever. You didn't bring a dog. You suck. It's like, that's your biggest problem.
No tattoos.
Not as many. You know what I saw there? You don't see as many good tattoos in Florida. And that, at least in that particular, just ratchet tattoos.
Right. It's whatever left over after you buy the meth.
Yeah. It's like you got like
$17.
no, you get like 17 little tattoos that aren't connected in any way.
Right.
Just
the
all
$17
over.
tattoo.
It was heartbreaking.
I have $17. Do what you can.
I saw some bad tattoos down there. Bad.
All right, go for it.
No, just in general. Just gross. Like I saw this one mom come up and she was so sweet and taking care of her kids, but she had 50 tattoos, none of which were connected, none of which had anything to do with the other one. It, almost like the way I would put stickers on a cooler, because like some are at this angle, others are at this angle.
Those are important events in her life, each worth 1 by 1 inch square of skin.
And all of them small.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's like heartbreak.
$17 tattoo.
Like a dagger over here, a Yosemite Sam over there. It literally looked like mud flaps.
Right.
You know, like all the bad mud flaps you ever saw.
Yosemite Sam, she had a really good time in 1994.
Something, man. But I just remember looking and I was like, this woman is so sweet. And I know that she has made so many bad decisions before these kids and this family. It's just weird. I saw one old guy. This was great. Do you remember Graphics Bongs?
Yeah.
And they had like that Joker.
Jester.
Yeah.
Skull Jester.
There was this old man and he's in like white shorts, white top, white hair.
Right.
So he's just like, and he just looks like he's just, I don't know, he's like got money now or something.
So he's 58 and he got that tattoo when he was 28.
Dude, he had, and it was the whole side of his leg.
Yep.
And I'm looking at him, I'm like, you got the Graphics Bong. Dude, you. But like, it doesn't add up at all.
Oh, it does if you do math.
But he obviously,
Or meth.
life got very good. He was like in Versace type shit.
Yeah, you can fuck around in your 20s and turn out all right.
I guess so. He was just, I found him to be interesting. I couldn't take my eye off his leg. I was like, look at this guy. Like he's walking around with the Graphics Bong, but with like dripping bottoms. So it was like more evil somehow. It's very odd. And I was like, okay.
I think that was the like collar or whatever they call it, the ruffle or
No, at the
gesture
very
that-
bottom of it, it would drip. It dripped down his leg.
Oh, so he did acid too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It was the Graphics Bong dude tripping balls. But that was the only thing on his body. It's like he just had this one night that was so intense. And
He
then
had
everything,
1 decade that was intense.
everything else about him was Versace and old man. And just a seemingly very sweet old man. And I was just like, I know you, motherfucker.
Right.
I know you. Like you were fun as fuck at one time. I wanted to be like, hey,
Let me introduce you to this lady at Shadracks.
yeah, you got to come over here. You got to talk to my girl. Yeah, it was. I saw some weird shit, man. But tattoos there are different. Richmond is like very artsy tattoos.
Yeah.
So you get sleeves that combine and tell a story, and like you just see all these things, and you forget how truly bad.
Yeah. Pete Davidson.
Yeah, what'd he do? As soon as he got money, he got rid of all the tattoos.
Yeah.
Like he has no tattoos now.
I feel like he got his last one and then within months. He's like, it's time to take all these off.
Yeah, get rid of all
Like
of
he didn't have a 2-year grace period where he's like, I'm considering something. Like he made that decision in a snap.
Yeah, he was still getting tattoos up until the moment he decided
Right.
no more.
Right.
Like he left the tattoo parlor and went to the laser facility in the same day.
And he was getting a tattoo on one arm and removing the one on his other.
Yeah, very confused man. And dude was just bipolar. Morning tattoo, evening removal. Mm-hmm. It was very odd. But yeah, you forget that tattoos just misplaced and all over and all small ones.
Yeah.
It's the literal worst look.
But also, you can have 3 that don't match
And be fine.
And a good artist can tie those together.
You can have a handful of tattoos, like one on this arm, one over here, one down here, and like have it be. But I'm saying like when a whole arm is done with individual tattoos,
Right.
like a Cracker Jack box.
But I'm saying you can have someone tie those together with just some feathers and whatever bullshit.
yeah, you can actually make it super cool.
Yeah.
That is,
But $17, that's not a $17 job.
no, it's not even $170.
You're right.
It's way more. Like it was, yeah, it was interesting. Florida though, and I don't know, we don't have all the commercials that Florida has as far as like, I thought when the election ended, political commercials ended.
Well, they had a runoff down there for a couple of seats.
No, but that's not what these are. These are different. These are like, it's literally just America. It's all these, and they run all the time.
Paid for by.
Well, considering Trump's prominently displayed in all of them, I assume Trump.
But why do they need to do that?
They're just saying America's getting stronger. America's getting stronger. It's like they know that their base is there.
This was on TV.
Yeah, all day.
But I'm just wondering why you need to, like normally you do that before an election.
That's not what it is. It's like reinforcing everything that's happening right now, like a reminder. Here's what it is. What Trump is trying to do, this is my belief. What Trump is trying to do, it will take time for this to happen. Like you start putting tariffs on everything.
Right.
Like you start pulling everyone out of the federal government. The hope is, right, that then the state government picks up those workers.
Right.
And the state ends up employing more people and more onus is put on the state. Now that takes time. At first, all you've done is it just feels like everyone got fired and like that hurts. And it's like, oh wait, now no one's happy. So, and then when tariffs happen, it's like, wait, everything just got more expensive. But in the long term, what in theory would happen is everything starts getting made here.
Except that version of the story came
I'm
out
not-
after.
I'm not trying to get into politics. I'm just trying
Well,
to
that's what I'm
demonstrate. Like,
I'm just trying to say, is someone paying for those commercials to boost morale?
yes,
Who's paying for that? And why? Like
because this is the strong base. You don't want to lose your base.
you're not going to lose your base in Florida. You can do the craziest shit.
But maybe you can, because there's counties there that were very close. And so you just talk about we're making America stronger, goods made here, jobs made here. It's like it's a constant, and American flags are going, and pickup trucks. And I'm not kidding when I say pickup trucks are going by. Like,
No, I believe that.
it
I'm
is
just
very
shocked
much-
that someone spent money to.
I'm not talking about spending a little bit of money. These bitches run all day.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
All day. And I'm realizing now as
What
I'm
were you
traveling
watching?
for work, it's just if you watch regular TV,
All right.
it's just everywhere. And just American flags flying, and it's just like,
No, I get the people are proud and have their flags and all that. I'm just shocked.
no, it's
that
on the TV.
some decision makers like, we've got an extra $30 million. Let's go ahead and tell the people who are driving around with flags on their truck that everything's cool.
There's also a lot of these. Hey, if you're here illegally, turn yourself in. We'll send you back, but you'll still be able to come back, like if through the right channels. But if we catch you, you're fucking out. And those are running all the time.
Now that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's logical, But so like you get this and that, and like there's no time for ShamWows.
Well, that marketing works.
It does.
Yeah, I have a addition to my my good friend's father-in-law. was told by a president that he should buy a type of vehicle that his county has railed against for at least a decade until like 3 weeks ago.
Why are we? So we're talking about getting a Tesla?
Yeah. A Cybertruck for a 90-year-old man.
Hold on. Who's telling a 90-year-old man to buy a Cybertruck?
The president.
No, the president didn't buy a Cybertruck.
Tesla.
He bought a Tesla. He bought a
he's not a
four-door. He
truck-
bought an S.
He's not a dumpster-shaped truck guy. He's a
Dude, the
sedan
Cybertruck
guy.
Cybertruck rules.
It would rule if it were half the price, like it was intended to be.
Well, and I'm bummed out to see that it's not. I need Teslas to lose their value. I've said this before.
Oh, they're losing their value like crazy.
The truck isn't losing enough value.
Well, that's because it's only. I mean, the 2025s are only a month old.
I need a plaid S edition to come on down.
That's 40 now. It was 100.
Yeah, and I need it to
2
come
years
down
ago.
a little bit lower.
Yeah,
Because I'm gonna drive a plaid. I don't give a fuck.
I would too.
That bitch is fast.
Yeah, come down to 20 grand,
Yeah. Now
and I will buy one.
we're all getting them. We're all getting them.
And I'll like debadge it, put a Kia decal on
You
it.
are not putting a Kia decal.
Yeah, I'll be
on.
like, it's not a Tesla. don't come at me.
If you got a Tesla, would you scrape the T off?
For fear of
Yeah, people are vandalizing Teslas out there.
Yeah,
right
I mean,
now.
for self-preservation, I would definitely do that.
Isn't that? I think it's ridiculous. We're
It is
just
ridiculous.
destroying Teslas.
Yeah.
The only car that literally can report it to the police.
Well, I think it's some misguided extremists on both ends do crazy shit. I don't think it's the general
I've
population.
never heard of this. Hold on. There's misguided extremists on both sides.
I mean,
I don't buy it for a second.
if you're on one side, the extremists on the other do some crazy ass shit. That's illogical and makes no sense.
Yeah, and if you're on the other side,
Same thing.
Then there's-
in reverse.
other crazies.
Yes, yes,
The world is full of crazies, people.
yes.
Always have been, always will be.
Yep.
That's just how it is.
So anyway, this dude buys a brand new Tesla the day of the planned protest at Richmond. And-
Okay, yeah.
And I showed him how to use it, and I put full auto drive back to his house, and he called me 20 minutes later. He's like, "It stopped driving itself." I'm like, "What happened? Did you touch anything?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Well, where did it happen?" He's like, "It happened at a stoplight." I'm like, "So you touched the brake?" He's like, "I might have done that." I'm like, "Well, okay, then you have to." And told him what to do. He's like, "It's not," and I can hear it in the background going. Burp, burp, burp,
But can't he just drive it?
yeah. He ended up just driving it, and
Yeah,
then,
that's because it still has a pedal and a steering wheel.
But then he got to his house and he saw like a stick in his yard that he wanted to. He has a really long driveway, so he saw a stick at the top of his driveway. Hopped out, grabbed the stick, put it in the back of the truck, got in, and couldn't figure out how to put it into drive. So he calls me 2 hours away. "This is what happened. How do I put it in drive?" And I'm like, "You swipe up on the picture of the car towards the D." And he's like, "Where's that?" I'm like, "I showed you."
Why does a 90-year-old man have a computer as a car?
Right. He got.
What kind of phone does he have?
Oh, an iPhone that he doesn't know how to use.
Yeah, he can't use the iPhone.
Can't
right?
use the iPhone.
Okay,
He-
now his car is an iPhone.
Yeah, and he just got his cable box upgraded, and they gave him a new remote. The buttons are slightly different, and he can't figure out how to use his TV. And it's been.
What made this man think to get
I'm telling you,
the most futuristic computer-driven car there is?
because the politics. Fox News told him to buy it, and he's like, "I will do that." I'm not exaggerating.
But isn't it easier to drive other Teslas? Like, I think the Cybertruck is actually like couldn't you get a 3?
I think he likes that he could get in a confrontation.
Oh, he wants
I think
that.
he might be excited.
But he's 90, he's going to lose.
Only if they're armed.
Armed with arms?
Right.
No, like literal fists, because he's a 90-year-old man.
Armed with pew pew.
I could be literally naked, and he's 90 years old. What's he going to do?
better outrun my gun.
Oh, he's armed. Yeah. Oh, he's looking forward to shooting.
You said he'll lose. I said only if they are armed.
Got you. I didn't piece together that he's got bare arms. Good for him. I mean, he's a problem, but good for him.
Yeah. I was commenting on the power of marketing.
But that's not even marketing.
No, he and his immediate area hated Teslas. Like, they are stupid. They pollute. I mean, they would just make up all this.
That's the funniest part about
crazy
this whole
shit.
thing is for a long time.
Like 10 years.
It was like, look at this liberal piece of shit
Right.
vehicle that's all electric. And now it's somehow carrying the other flag.
Right. And the family members who like post on Facebook, like, this is evil and these are never work. And how dare you blah, blah, blah. Now they're like, I don't know what to do. I'm very confused. My head is just spinning because I've been posting for every week for 8 years how these are the demon cars. And now the other side is saying they're the demon cars, so I must love them. But I don't love them because I don't know what to do.
And I can't even turn it on.
Right.
You know? The guy, he can't even figure out how to put it in drive.
Yeah.
This
gonna
is
be interesting.
going to be very interesting to watch unfold. This poor dude, does he know he has to plug it in?
Yep. He got a family member to install the charger.
Oh, he's got a good charger. Mm-hmm. Like, he can charge it up quick.
Yep.
So now he can get to Hardee's every day.
Yep. And and
How long before every Hardee's is full of Cybertrucks?
I think he's more of a McDonald's guy.
This fucking... He's a lib. It's ridiculous. McDonald's, Hardee's for life.
Yeah.
What kind of coffee does he drink?
Doesn't
Drink coffee.
No. He'll drink a Coke.
Yeah, that adds up.
Yeah.
I just find that a lot of those old guys, they love their like instant coffees. It's like Folgers. If they're fancy, they're Dunkin'.
I wonder if that changes. Like, did guys that worked manual labor always do coffee in every corner of the country?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Like, do you have a cheap coffee that, like, in a pinch, say you walk into like a shitty place and all they have is crap coffee. Like,
I'm weird. I love coffee, but if it's not available, I don't seek it out.
I now do.
It's more of a ritual. Like, I'm like, oh, I have this Nespresso. Let me make a coffee first thing while I play Wordle. And if I'm somewhere that doesn't have coffee, I'm like, all right, cool. I don't go to Starbucks or Dunkin' or 7-Eleven.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. If it's there, cool. If it's not, that's fine.
Yeah, I seek out like coffee now. It's become a bit of an addiction. But I think it's the ritual more so than anything, because when I don't have it, I just go, oh, shucks.
And when you say seek it out, you mean leave your house.
If I'm hungover. If I'm hungover, I will.
So you're either a 7-Eleven, a Dunkin', or one of the Chihuahuas.
I'd actually just anything but Starbucks.
Yeah.
But what's funny is I have a cheap coffee that I am like loyal to, and that's chock full of nuts.
Oh.
Like, I like chock full of nuts only because when I was a little kid, my grandfather had the woodshed
And the can full of washers.
Yeah. And he'd have a chock full of nuts can full of washers, chock full of nuts can full of bolts, chock full of nuts cans full of fishing hooks. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he had, but it was always chock full of nuts cans. And I just remember seeing
I
that
wonder
as
if
a
that
kid.
started because they're like, I need a place to put all these extra nuts.
Here's a can.
Chock full of nuts.
Boom.
They had chock full of washers. Be
Oof, that's just too strong.
unbelievable.
But I mean, no, that was it. Like, I always saw it in the woodshed. And so I was like, all right, that's manly.
You do seem to have an affinity for nostalgia.
It's a hell of a drug. But so now, like, whenever I got older, and I didn't start drinking coffee till like post college.
Same.
And then it's like, I was like, all right, I'm going to go get a coffee. And I just remember being like, oh, there's that can. Like, that's the good shit. So I got that. And so like I was just drinking this high octane swill. And then like my wife's a big Starbucks fan and all this stuff. And I'll drink it, but I'll tell you the best coffee in Virginia right now. Woo! Red Rooster out of Floyd, Virginia.
What?
These dudes are roasting some beans.
Are you saying for home consumption or, drive-through?
They only have one location in Floyd, Virginia. It's the best coffee I've ever had. And so I'm a member now. I'm such an addict. I'm a member of something called Trade Coffee. Mm-hmm. And Trade Coffee, you sign up, and they'll send you beans from all over, like all over. I'll be drinking some shit from some boutique in Brooklyn, then out of DC. But then one day,
was that a Christmas present subscription?
I gave it to my wife as a subscription, and I've just never canceled it. Mm-hmm. But I get this stuff from all over, and I mean everywhere. It's wild.
Is that how you heard of Red Rooster?
Yeah, it showed up one day.
So you haven't been out there?
No, I'm dying. I'm actually trying to make a trip.
I'm going to Floyd Fest. You should come.
I'll just show you. I'll meet up for coffee in one day.
Do what?
I'll drive out there, have coffee with you, and drive back.
I think it's a far drive.
Yeah, it's about 4 hours.
Yeah.
This this shit showed up, man. I made a pint of coffee, and I came downstairs, and I was like, hey, babe, what is this? And she was like, it's this one. And she showed it to me, and I was like, funky chicken, Red Rooster. Like,
I don't think I'm sophisticated enough to differentiate between.
You don't have to be sophisticated to know when something's better.
I don't know.
See, this is the problem.
I don't think I can tell the difference between a $1,000 bottle of wine and a $40 bottle of wine.
But you don't have to be able to tell the difference between a $1,000 bottle of wine and a $40 bottle of wine. But you should know when you like something.
Yeah, but if you like things that are cheap, then you get judged a certain way.
I don't give a fuck. This is like, I was in Napa Valley. Speaking of bougie, I was in Napa Valley. I'm 20 years old. I got a fake ID, and I'm with my whole family. And like they're taking us to wineries, and they're fine with me using my fake, which was awesome.
But you don't have to if you're with your parents.
You don't, but if they check, I had it. I was like, boom. I'm from California, actually. Here you go. And I remember I walked into this one bougie ass winery, and I'm like, I don't understand what's happening. I've been in bougie wineries all day, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm trying wine. And this lady who's doing the tasting, she's like, look, I'm the winemaker here. This is what I do. I'm passionate about this. And she's like, even I get annoyed with these people coming in here. And they're doing all the swirls and doing all the things. She's like, the truth is, and if you remember this, you'll be okay. We're making grape juice that we have fermented. Mm-hmm. Period. It's nothing more special than that. It's nothing worse than that. It is grape juice. There's grape juice you like, and there's grape juice you don't like. If you just go into it with that attitude every time and just sip it and go yay or nay, regardless of price point, regardless of tasting notes, regardless of tannin profile, it's all irrelevant. You find what you like, lean in, you'll sort itself out in the long run. And I was like, okay, so it's just grape juice. She's like, it's just grape juice. And then she like took me back to the group, and she poured all the wine. She's like, which grape juice did you like? And I'm like, I like this red one right here. She was like, all right, that's this. She's like, so you might like that kind of grape. She's like, figure it out. It's grape juice. And ever since then, I've taken that attitude, and people are like, oh, you're getting all fucking bougie. I'm like, no, I will never forget the pep talk she gave me in the corner. She pulled me away and said, it's fucking grape juice. Figure out what you like. I'm the same way with coffee. I like chock full of nuts, which is the bullshit, but I like it. But now that I've gotten all this stuff shipped to my house, it was just that one morning I woke up and I was like, I like that. What is that?
You drink it black?
Yeah.
I would love to see you do a blind taste test.
I won't. I may not know the difference.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But like, I just know that I was sitting there at my desk, had a sip, went, that's really good. Went, asked my wife what it was. She showed it to me. I was like, noted. Floyd, Virginia. Red Rooster. Since then, they've sent other Red Roosters, and every time I'm like, I like this place. So I've now just come to the conclusion this little shitty place in Floyd, Virginia may be making the best coffee in Virginia, at least according to my palate. But what's ironic is my brother-in-law got signed up for the same thing because my wife was like, this is a good gift, gave it to him. And one day we were like, have you had anything you like? And he's like, I had this Red Rooster stuff. It's really good. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm onto something. So survey of 3, Red Rooster may be the best thing that's been shipped to me from anywhere in the country.
Wow.
Check it out while you're down there.
I'll try to remember.
Red Rooster just got a dirty plug.
Right.
Didn't they?
Yeah.
Look at these free bastards.
One of the coffees of all time.
Speaking of one of the coffees of all time, if you need a mortgage, you should head over to Screen Door Mortgage. Irrelevant. Only Jimmy's going to get it, and he's going to be pissed. But I would say that if you're looking for a mortgage, you should probably head over to Screen Door Mortgage because it's a stressful thing. It's already bad enough you got to find a house. Why should the mortgage part be stressful? Jimmy can take care of you because customer service is always at the forefront in everything they do.
I feel like there needs to be background music or something right now.
Oh, you think I'm leaving the episode?
Yeah.
No. I'm about to go pee and then you're just going to pad.
Nope.
No, you nailed it earlier when you were like, I'm misshapen.
I have no desire to pad. I will make you pause that bitch.
But you're doing all right.
Nope.
Look, with the TFE, you still did all right.
Dude, are you trying to give up the whole gig?
You did all right. Troy free episodes are hard on all of us.
Dude.
Troy's my go-to. He's my guy.
Yeah.
Like, I banter with Troy. Troy and I have been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah,
It's
there are
very
no
easy.
guardrails. It was very stressful here.
Yeah, you're all of a sudden just in here like, ugh.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like you've held it together. Ish.
Yeah, I like being a third mic.
Third mic's a lot
way
less stressful,
better than a
isn't it?
second mic.
You have a newfound respect for what Troy does?
I've always respected what you guys do.
Troy's good.
I just like coming in here and throwing out an anal joke and then laughing to myself and watching TV, come back with some hooker joke.
I noticed that tonight you sat on the other side of the bar so the TV wouldn't distract you.
Yes.
I'm watching games.
I can't do it.
Like, I'm fine. I'm still just hanging out watching the
I've
game.
been making eye contact the whole time.
It's awkward.
I don't do
There's
that.
a lot of eye
Yeah, it
contact.
is. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is so unnatural.
You never make eye contact because
Right.
you're always to my right.
Fighting the tism and the ADHD.
Troy and I are always
Yeah.
making eye contact because he's my guy. It is tough when he's not here, but boy, the stress is off when he's not here. It's so much easier, so much better, right?
Yeah, no one made fun of me today.
No, I hope Troy's having a good cruise. Well-deserved vacation. I'm sure he's excited that he got a week off. Plus, we'd put one in the can last week, so he's had 2 weeks off. He's going to come back refreshed or never come back.
Or dehydrated from the norovirus.
Don't put that evil on him.
By the time he hears this, it would have passed.
I sure hope so. That's always my fear on cruises, that you're going to get sick as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, it's tough, man. When I had flown out to Florida, I wasn't feeling well when I left, and I had to like find Sudafed, which in Florida it's easy.
But it's behind the counter.
Nah, it's outside. You never even have to walk into CVS. It's different though. So you put it in like this like device, and you light the bottom of it,
It's
and
called
you just
aluminum foil.
you just inhale the Sudafed, and I'll tell you, it really clears your sinuses up.
You got to the bar so fast.
Yeah, you feel good, and for 12 hours, it's wild stuff.
My biggest fear on cruises is the house band playing just god awful one-hit wonders from like the 70s and 80s, like Mustang Sally every day.
But that's what you embrace.
It's the worst.
You never found the guy that like you were like, I like this cruise musician, and he's playing like covers.
Well,
I want him to play covers. I sure as fuck don't want to hear his originals.
I don't mean like an event or a show, but like you're walking.
No,
from,
you go to a bar. Like there's a pub on the cruise ship.
yeah, or you're walking past it, right? You're not even going there for live entertainment. And somewhere there is a band and they're playing Mustang Sally, and you're like, fucking, I can't escape this song.
Why Mustang? Why do you hate Mustang?
Because I have a intimate experience with that song on a cruise one time. I heard it like 17 times in 3 days.
I think Mustang Sally sucks in the lexicon of classic rock.
Totally. That's
like-
what I'm saying. Why are they playing it? And two, why are they playing it like it's a top 40 radio station in 1976?
The only one that's worse is Black Betty, because all they do is blam 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 blam.
Yeah.
You ever seen the video for
Nope.
the actual that song?
I didn't know they had videos these days.
Dude, watch that motherfucker. He's got my American Tourist luggage next to him.
Oh, so it's from the 90s.
Yes, no, dude. That video is great because these dudes just mustaches and long hair, and they're just standing there on like a porch, and they're just doing it
Yeah.
like outside of like some farmhouse, and they won't stop. Blam blam blam. Whoa, Black Betty. Blam blam blam. And you don't realize how redundant the whole chorus is
Yeah.
until you see it. You're like, oh my god, because you can only do.
Oh, look, they're on the porch again.
Yeah, it's brutal. You know the song that pisses me off these days? There's a song that got popular by like Manskin or Maniskin in the last like couple years, and it still gets played all the time.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
It is it's the most annoying song. And when it first came out, I was like, oh, this is catchy. I like this.
Are you talking about an Italian rock band?
I don't know what I'm talking about. It's just the name of the band, Maniskin or some shit.
Like these guys? Mainskin?
I don't know. What's their fucking big hit?
I don't know.
I didn't know they were called Mainskin.
I have no idea. How's it go?
I can't remember.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to fortunately, I'm blocking it out.
Going to Wikipedia.
Yeah, this is it.
This can't be them. This is all, wait. Begging?
Yeah. It's that stupid. Begging you. You know that fucking.
No, I don't.
What are you talking about? That's the whole song. Over and over and over. You don't know this song?
No.
They're constantly
But it
begging
definitely
you.
sounds like something that would be on a cruise ship.
Oh, this is going to be our Mustang Sally
Yep.
soon enough. That's the only time when he says anything different.
Yeah, I don't know that song.
Oh, how do you lucky son of a bitch. They're begging for so long.
Oh, it's a cover of the Four Seasons.
Well, the Four Seasons had to have made a better song.
And it's from 2021.
And it's brutal. And it still comes on. And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
As of 2022, they've sold an estimated 40 million copies.
Of begging.
I think it's all their albums, but they've only been around since 2016. That's crazy.
That son of a bitch sang a song that just runs a hook over and over again. They're Italian?
Yeah. Formed in Rome.
I'd expect more precision. It is very frustrating. I can't tolerate that song.
What's the worst song of all time? What's the worst earworm song of all time? I've got my nominee.
Oh, let's start with yours.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give me a minute.
We Built This City.
Oh,
It's the worst song.
it's pretty bad. I tell you, Beggin' by Maniskin may be up there.
Maybe I should say, what's the worst song that you probably know all the words to?
I tell you, I don't like anything by Celine Dion.
But I don't think you know all the words. Because once that turns on, you just flip it off. But We Built This City was on like Casey Kasem, and you couldn't turn it off when you were a kid.
Yeah, it's a fairly annoying one. That's REO Speedwagon.
No, that's Starship or Jefferson Starship or Jefferson Airplane or the Jeffersons.
Let's just go with Starship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty annoying. I'm trying to think of like just earworm songs that I think have no redeeming value.
It's hard to beat mine.
No, there's a lot of them that come on. I tell you, a lot of things by the Eagles, I don't
Ooh, that's a polarizing opinion.
I understand that.
I agree with you.
But
And
the
you get a
Eagles-
lot of hate.
People fucking
They'll-
hate it when
They
I'm
will
like,
torch you like a Tesla.
you know what I like about the Eagles? When they broke up. Because all of them started coming out with bangers. Like, they had great careers without each other. But as the Eagles, outside of Desperado, I don't see a lot of redeeming quality. Now, people cover it, and it sounds great. But I would certainly start somewhere with an Eagles song.
I think the argument for them is they fit their time perfectly, but I think after that, it seems forced to talk about how great they are.
It just, yeah. Like, when these dudes start ticking off and everybody starts being like, oh, they're the greatest. I'd be like, nah. Except for that dude, Joe. Is it Joe Walsh? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Life's been good to me so far. Banger.
Speaking
Banger.
of ticking off, my mentor in my aspirational mentor in looks ticked off.
Oh, Val Kilmer.
Yep.
But you see, I respect Val Kilmer. Like, I had no ill things to say about Val Kilmer.
No,
Came out, his first entry into the lexicon was Top Secret. It's a great movie.
yeah,
Like, it's a horrible movie,
right.
but it was in that time of like the airplanes and all those movies. Like, that was great.
Yeah, when he was attractive, I 10 years later, I became my most attractive. Not at his level, but, some similarities in my head. Then when he got fat, 10 years later, I was like, I'm right with you.
I guess you won't be doing podcasts in 10 years.
Right.
I think that's funny, Dave.
Well, that's what, when you're like, you're not going to be handsome when you get skinny. You're old. I was like, well, let me look what Val Kilmer look. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Maverick, you gotta do this.
Yeah.
Like, it got rough.
It's going to be bad.
But he was good. Hey, they found Jim Morrison. Speaking of Val Kilmer, because he played Jim Morrison.
What do you mean they found him?
Well, you know how like they've always said like he faked his death?
Oh.
They found him. He's in Syracuse, New York. He stole some guy's identity. Mm-hmm. He's up in Syracuse, New York. He'd been doing odd jobs for a while.
What Reddit post did you find this?
It doesn't matter where I find what I find. But we think we may have found Jim Morrison, and he may actually be alive. So he wasn't just OD'd on the ground.
Oh, there's a documentary about it.
Yeah. Faked his death. He's up in Syracuse, New York. I'll be damned. Haven't seen the documentary. Just read conjecture on it.
I'm going to watch that shit.
Yeah, just read some conjecture. But it was enough for me to go, hell yeah. And it was ironic.
You
that-
would think they could just do a real quick 23andMe and be like, there are no Morrisons connected to you. Or there are.
It should be relatively simple.
Right.
Speaking of Reddit, I saw...
It's called Before the End.
There you go. That's great. I didn't even know. Yeah, I got to watch that because that's the one that they always said that he faked his death. But they said it about everybody.
Yeah.
Elvis, Tupac, Biggie.
Yep.
People die. For some reason, we just let Janis Joplin stay in the grave.
The women.
We let Belushi stay in the grave. There's a lot of those 27 Club, that we just let stay in the grave. But Morrison has always been like, nah, something sus. And now we found him, Syracuse, New York.
I wonder if it has to do with your fame level. Because there's a big difference in fame between Jim Morrison and anyone you named faking their death and Janis Joplin. She was important.
Janis Joplin was pretty fucking important. Jimi Hendrix, pretty damn important.
That's true. Although I bet there's a theory that he faked his death.
I don't know, man. That you hear the Jim Morrison death fake often.
Right.
You hear it about Elvis often. But Elvis, I mean, come on. He was dead. Like, you don't get found on a toilet in a fake death.
But do we have pictures?
I do.
No, okay.
No.
That's fair.
No, we don't. Now I just heard that we found a picture of Lee Harvey Oswald outside of the library, like the book emporium, whatever the hell he's supposed to be in.
What?
That someone's like, yeah, I got a picture of him from outside at the time of the shooting. You're just checking all my weird
I'm checking that
conspiracy
shit
theory
out. I
bullshit.
believe you, but that's fascinating.
I got plenty, and apparently it was delivered to Oliver Stone like long ago, and he was like, "Well, I can't let this out because
That's gonna
Blow the cover
take
off
some that's gonna take some research.
yeah, don't listen to my I got fascinating weird rabbit holes. I only tell you the ones that I think are interesting. I go down rabbit holes that aren't interesting all the time. Ooh, weird dude.
I go down rabbit holes and then I forget them because I do it when I'm dead tired. Then I forget them, but I have like 90 apps open on my phone or web pages, and I'll be like looking for something. I'll be like, oh shit, I remember. I looked that up.
That would be an interesting thing. Like if I went and looked at what tabs are open on my phone, like what the hell would I be looking at? Oh, AI Granny. That actually came from Shell, one of our listeners.
Oh.
He found a way to...
How dare you wait until the hour 35-minute mark to bring up a listener topic?
I know, that's fucked up.
Jesus.
He sent us something. So they have an AI Granny that you can put on with scammers, and she'll just sit there and start talking about random ass like family drama.
Oh, that's
and bullshit.
brilliant.
And then eventually, if they keep pressing her for like bank information, she'll give fake bank information, and they'll be like, "It didn't work." She'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Let me try again." And like she'll just keep going. And right now, AI Granny has been able to keep a scammer on the line in a direct conversation for over 40 minutes.
How do you implement that?
That I don't understand. I was trying to figure that out. But there is a way you can answer those calls and just put AI Granny on the phone.
So is that an app?
I would guess so.
Because I would love for you to call me and I put you in touch with AI Granny.
No shit, right?
That would be awesome.
Dude, I'm looking through some of my tabs and I'm a weird dude.
Right.
I was looking for, are there Jimmy Buffett festivals with all the people who collaborated with Jimmy Buffett playing with the Coral Reefer Band? This is obviously some beach shit I was thinking about. Where can I find that Red Bull Spring Edition? I got to get my hands on that. Why do lizards do push-ups?
These are your open tabs.
Yeah.
And you're thumbing past all the porn.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't even know what this Dr. Amy thing is. I don't know.
Did you hear Ford made an announcement today that they're giving employee pricing to all of America
Oh.
in response to the tariffs? Because we're so American, we're going to discount. And so I looked that up. I'm like, oh, I'm going to look that up. It's the same promotion they do every year. They just got lucky and dropped it. But everyone's going crazy. Like, that is an American company. I'm like,
That's what I'm talking
dude,
about,
they haven't been selling cars. You can get better than employee pricing at many dealerships.
Yeah.
Because they're dropping the Bronco like $20,000 trying to get rid of them. And the employee discount is not applicable to the Bronco Raptor, for example.
Do you know it's furrow your brow? Not furl. I always said furl your brow. I lost an argument with my wife. It's furrow.
I knew furrowed brow, but I probably would have thought you furled it.
Yeah. It's become such a misconception if you look it up.
Right.
Furled in quotes or furrow. 10 Best Gorilla song. When's the new Beats Fit Pro coming out? I don't know what this spring break shit is. I'm looking at a lot of ties. Oh, Baja Poncho. See, that shit was on my mind. Yeah, I've been looking up a lot of weird shit. There's the fish doorbell. That's what's up. Usain Bolt fat.
So how many tabs do you have open?
They delete after 30 days. So I don't know.
Weird.
One chip challenge. I want to know how many Scovilles Troy and I ate. Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit. I should just do a segment of, at the end of every month, my favorite tabs that were open. That's like immediate content.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do that. Dude, why are we still podcasting?
I've been trying to segue out of here.
Ooh. Troy would never do that. Troy was
Here's a tab I have open. Great Clips $10 off coupon. I took my son to Great Clips for a $10 haircut, and I said, hey, I just want like a 2-guard, above the ears and around back, and leave the top a little shaggy and, blend it somewhat. And so
just buzzed him.
Well, she started. I was sitting in the lobby looking at him, and I noticed like 5 minutes in, he had this almost bald spot by his temple.
Oh no!
And I'm like, huh, that's weird. I wonder what she's gonna do with that. And then I also noticed that normally his haircut takes 8 minutes. I was there for like 35 minutes.
Trying to fix the glitch.
She was trying to, but she didn't want to admit it.
She just wanted to wait for it to grow back in.
And then finally she was like, she figured out that she was fucked. So she spent more time trimming it all up. And then when she delivered them to me, it looked like he had a hair beret off to the side.
no.
Like he had a part up at 11 o'clock. And then he had full hair down to like 3 o'clock.
Oh God!
And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Oh,
And it
well,
was
you get what you pay for.
It was shaved up to 11 o'clock. So basically, I made her make it symmetrical, and he now has like a Marine haircut.
good for him. Toughen him up.
Yeah,
You know how he could look cool though. I know the fix for that.
the fade.
No, sunglasses. The right sunglasses can fix a bad haircut. I would go to nectarsunglasses.com.
Ooh, that was brilliant.
I would drop ITPH in the coupon code.
So good.
I would get 20% off instead of that measly $10 off. And I'd fix that haircut
Nice.
with the right sunglasses. Mm-hmm. It's a good call.
Or he could get a mortgage.
Well, we already did the mortgage.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't make sense for a haircut.
He could get a house in a Marine base. Oh, boy. No one wants to hear that shit. There's so much pollen in the air, dude. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you got too much money, send them to Venmo. Troy will tell you what it was. And if you have topics, send them into insidethepoundhouse@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers. That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
You don't need Troy.
He's probably sitting there somewhere listening to this right now going,
Those
no,
motherfuckers.
he's like, they need me so bad. He probably feels really good about himself.
Right now he's hearing Mustang Saudi.
Lamb I'm begging.